as per usual. Someday I'm going to get this down in one take, and it will be a calendar event, I swear. Right, welcome back to the Chaos. I am Tanari, if you don't know who I am, and if you do, yeah, it's an adventure. Anyway, I need a better intro. I really need a better intro. Yeah, anyway, welcome back to the Chaos. So, we are going to start with why this video is so late. Look, I swear I recorded on time. I actually recorded 2 days early this week because I knew I wasn't going to have time this weekend. I knew it. And somehow, between editing and YouTube itself, there was something wrong, and YouTube will not process this video. So I have to do it again. I'm just re-recording because I ain't that good. Technically, I'm not going to figure that out before I can just redo this. Redoing it. So, last week, there were some concerns about how I looked on the video. A couple of people expressed a little bit of concern about how I looked. Not my appearance per se, but I did not look good. Something looked off, and they were right. When I recorded, I was doing some major anxiety problems. I was really on an anxiety trip. And I did not notice mannerisms, breathing, and coloration issues that I never notice. Doctor says this is perfectly normal. Usually the people who live with you notice this crap and you don't. But I wasn't sounding good. About 2 days after I recorded that, I was not sounding good. And D noticed it, and D was not okay. And he goes, "Where's your inhaler?" I lost my inhaler in the storm. It fell out of my pocket during one of those falls. No idea where it's at. So he hands me his. Before anyone gets concerned, we have the exact same dosage and medication. Like, it is identical. The only thing that's different is his is apparently one brand and mine is another, which is just, we got it at different times and the doctor prescribed a different thing or whatever. I don't know why. But the only difference is the delivery device. That's the only difference. It is an inhaler. It is a basic inhaler, but the delivery device is a little different from one brand to the other. Mine's gentle. Mine is nice, sweet, and gentle. It lets you breathe of your own accord and is nice about it. His punches. He handed me his one puff and that sucker was in my sinus cavity. Holy snot. That blasted. So I'm choking for a little bit because that's not supposed to do that. But then I was good. A fog lifted. A literal fog lifted. And suddenly I understood that anxiety trip was half asthma. It wasn't all asthma. There were anxiety problems going on. But yeah, excuse the noise. He's trapped. He's laid a trap to catch people he wants to play with as they go down the hallway. And he won't move right now. And I don't have it in me to fight him. But a fog lifted. And anxiety and asthma feed each other. That's a very normal thing. And until you shut one down, it is a spiral that will just keep going. And in my world, you cannot shut down the anxiety. It is not possible. I have coping mechanisms to reduce it, lower it, but prevention, that saying about an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure, that applies to the anxiety hardcore. Once it gets started with my life, it is not shut down. Son! Out of the hallway! But the asthma can be shut down. Just the inhaler shut it down. And that dropped the anxiety through the floor. Still had some anxiety issues to work out because of paperwork problems that we've worked out a bit at this point. But that's what happened. That's why I looked so bad in the last video. That, and I was sore. I was still sore and in pain from the falls. I really was. Now, on to the falls. I'm good. I am actually good. I made the mistake of taking Kid 2. Kid 2 is... He and Kid 1 swap off for the heaviest child in the house. And without thinking, I put him on my shoulders to walk from the car to the grocery store. did not occur to me until we were in the car on the way home that probably was a bad idea after the falls I had taken. But that boy is just under 100 pounds. So, yeah, my back's fine. My neck's fine. My shoulder's fine. My knee is mostly fine. The knee I fell on is not the bad knee. It is the good one. It is not sprained, but it's a little tiffy if I kick something sideways. Like I walked in my bedroom and scooted a pillow out of the way sideways, and that caused me pain. But otherwise, I'm fine. So, I'm just being careful how I handle things with my knee for a little while. It's not really crippling me or anything. It's just don't scoot things sideways, which I don't do most of the time anyway. But yeah, overall, I'm fine. I am not perma-injured, not even in pain unless I kick a pillow, apparently. After the freeze, we had some behavior issues that was expected after that kind of, and the house was backed up quite a lot. When I took the inhaler and the fog lifted, I could look around and go, oh crap, something has not been okay. There's been a backup, a fog, blah. So there's a backup that I have been working through. We've actually gotten it down to a dull roar at this point until you walk into the laundry room. That's not a dull roar. That is bad. We have officially hit the point of laundry today or naked tomorrow. Not joking. So we're breaking out the duffel bag tomorrow. If you saw a previous vlog, I forget which one, it's been a while. But after the hospital, we had a similar backup because I was at the hospital with the kid that we cannot leave unattended there. And we came up with this little plan because when he got out of the hospital, I had to fix the backup before it started causing anxiety, depression, mental issues, emotional issues for me. Because I was already feeling like I was failing at life, and that makes it worse. And we threw bed linens, pajamas, tablecloth, and some Red Bulls in a duffel bag and popped them in my husband's closet for this kind of situation. So tomorrow we're breaking that out to get everything to functional and good enough so that I can start cranking through the laundry and not worry about stuff. And as I crank through the laundry, I will throw the equivalent of what we pulled out back into that duffel bag and we will put it back. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow to deal with a backlog. That's also part of the behavior issues has been the backlog because the kids know it's not supposed to look like that. You know, it's not supposed to be that way. We got through his birthday pretty good. He had a great time, had a blast. Friday, the oldest spent the night with my in-laws. He was supposed to do this earlier in the year, both for the in-laws and my parents. But first we got sick, and if anyone in my household is sick, no one in my household goes near my brother. That's how we play that. And that is as much I'm going to expect this kind of behavior from others when it's my turn in this position. Because we're going to hit the point where our boys have the same level of frailty as my brother someday. So there was that. And then by the time when he was supposed to spend the night at Papa's, Papa and Abuelita had gotten sick. So he couldn't do that because they were sick for a while. But they were finally better enough for him to go spend the night. He did. We learned that he's having some issues with being polite, which we already knew we were having to crack down on. Well, we're going to be a little ruder about it, meaner about it, cracking down on that behavior, because he's hitting the age where he needs help with things, and he needs to be able to ask politely, or it's going to get real ugly for him. And then we were supposed to meet them Saturday at the park for cake and ice cream for the birthday. Well, it was cold. Like, not stupid cold, but colder than we were comfortable being out there. Definitely colder than the people that have been sick were willing to be out there. So they came over here. We did a speed clean to get things close enough, or as close as I could get them before the in-laws got here, because again, it's backed up because life. And they had a pretty good time. The kids had a really good time. Kiddo got to open his presents. He loved all of his presents. I did not expect that, but he really did. Everything he opened, he loved. And then Sunday was just Sunday. I had a tummy problem. I had a 24-hour stomach bug. I am pretty sure it was the pizza rolls he picked out for his birthday dinner. I'm not used to eating that kind of crap anymore. My body's just not. So yesterday I had to cope with that, and I was knocked out all day. It was bad. And yeah, that's like I couldn't get his birthday present from me done because it started raining. That's that prerequisite of the cold. The day I was supposed to go out there and double check measurements and get the frame cleared out, it was pouring. Next day it was Mud City. I'm just gonna have to do it later this week, this coming week. It's like one of the first projects on my list. I did get the Valentine's pillows done. I have to do a voiceover and record the outro for that because we're doing a voiceover and a high-speed run at the voiceovers because you don't want to hear the crap that I did on high speed. The things that were going on while those pillows were getting done, it's not pretty. Especially not at times 5 speed, okay? It's loud. I have 4 kids, 2 dogs, and a cat. It got loud. See? Loud. And then we got down to the things that were still causing me anxiety issues. Now I had gotten out of the disabling anxiety soon as I hit that inhaler. The disabling stopped. I was good. But the anxiety was still there because Dee and I don't have insurance right now because, apparently I'm the only person in this equation that can do my own flipping paperwork. None of the insurance companies or government anything that I deal with can do their own paperwork. That's all I'm going into on that one. But we've got to file taxes so we can fix the paperwork problem. Or fix the insurance problem. Hello, doggo. You're allowed in here. Fine. No? Okay. Nope. Toss violation and I'm recording. Close that door. Thank you. That kid's still allergic to his shirt. But yeah, we're getting down to the paperwork side of things because now I could actually pretend to do that crap. We have to get the taxes filed, and we don't get the last form for that until the 15th of this month because it's a different kind of form. So we got to get that fixed to deal with the insurance problem for the adults. And the kids' insurance had to be updated. When they got approved for those government payments, there was a snafu in the insurance system because there's apparently now a different program for children with disabilities that are getting those payments. There's a very different set of plans. I assume it's more no questions asked kind of plans. Not real sure. But I went to go deal with that last week because the camp forms need that information and we were getting on time to refill prescriptions. Turns out, I found out today, they were in the process of updating that website, which they do every few years. But they were really overhauling it this time. As I went to go log into my account, I got locked out. Not only did I get locked out, when I called to try and reset the password, it would not let me reset the password. The lady that was on the phone with me today, because I was ready to chink things through my computer screen at that point in the day last week. Look, when I am ready to murder my devices, it is time to put them all down and do something else. So I went to start playing Minecraft, and then at the end of that night, Ash contacted me and said, oh, hey, we have an Ark server now. So, yeah, I've got plenty of reset options at the moment. But the lady that I was on the phone with today, I had to wait till today to do it because I was that mad. I was that mad and did not have time this weekend. I knew I didn't have time this weekend. She spent 45 minutes on the phone with me, coming to the conclusion that no, the website will not let the password be reset, in any way, shape, or form. Like, she tried so hard to fix that. She was really upset she couldn't fix it. But she did get me logged into my account, which was more than I had managed with the previous attempts. She got me into the account, which is what I needed right now. So she got me into the account so I could print off the insurance cards and take care of take care of everything that I need done with that information. Then my printer won't work. It still won't work. It's not connecting. I don't know why. I don't care. I was hitting the point where I was going to chunk something through the screen again when I got a bright idea, found the previous iterations of the printed insurance cards, and just crossed out and corrected any changed information, which worked just fine for the pharmacist today. It's certainly going to work just fine for the camp forms, where they don't need a copy of the card. They need the information put in the thing, or they need me to update it with the hospital, who, again, doesn't give a crap if I'm holding the actual insurance card. They need all those numbers. As long as all those numbers match all of the other numbers on their computer, they don't care. So that, I got what I needed. Right? What I'm going to do right now, and I told the lady on the phone, my plan right now, because if this can't be done, if they can't fix this over the phone, they have to send me into a physical office. I don't want to do that. I don't have time for that right now. They're going to wait a month because she got me what I needed right now. So next month, I'm going to try again, and if I still can't get in, then I'll go into an office. Because, like, I don't have time right now, and I don't really need to now that I've got the information, right? So that was that big kerfuffle. That cut a lot of anxiety off. And cut down a lot of the that I've been dealing with. And then Dee found out that I'm not sure if he and I have enough of the very important medications to get us through the whole month, and he cannot afford to be without. The doctor told him that very clearly. You're going to be on this for the rest of your life, and if you stop, you're dead. That's obviously not the way the doctor put it, but that's the gist. And mine was the asthma medication, not the inhaler, the actual pills that keep me functional most of the time. So, he's like, no, we have the emergency fund. Get those filled, get them filled now. So everybody's got the medications they need. I've got to make some more phone calls in a week or two. It ain't happening this week. The camp forms are the higher priority because we did just fill all the prescriptions, but one of the kids, the insurance company, saying he doesn't have insurance with them. It's the same child for whom, after 2 years of being told he could not be insured because he already had insurance, we had to call the senator's office to get this fixed. I was not happy. Oh, I was not happy. Fortunately, the people at the pharmacy know me. Like, I'm gonna cry if we ever move too far away to keep using this pharmacy, okay? I love these people. But yeah, I very nearly went on a cursing tangent right there, and that woman's just kind of laughing nervously at me because she's like, no, I know you, and I know this isn't my fault. And like one of the first things I said was, I know this isn't on you. This is not on you guys. Not even close. And then she was okay, because I'd never done that. Looked that pissed inside that pharmacy with the new people before. She was one of the newer people. Like, they know me. They all know me now, which was concerning. But that brings us to a different problem, and Dee's kind of like, oh, maybe you should put that one in the blog, because, yeah. I need to find better coping mechanisms for the anxiety. I just do. Some of the anxiety is normal. It's never going to go away. Like I said, you cannot shut down an anxiety roll on me. It's not possible unless I shut down. I can't afford to shut down. People die if I shut down. That sounds like hyperbole. It's not. It is not. If I shut down, people will die. But I have had over the last few months, many doctors and nurses tell me, I've got my crap together. Like, I've got it together. I know what I'm doing. I don't know where the hell that's coming from. Whatever. I couldn't decide whether to cry or scream when the pharmacist said it today. I did neither until I got to my car, because I have too much respect for those people, okay? But I don't. These people think I've got this together, and I know I don't. I know I don't. If I had it together, I wouldn't be in the situations I've been in. And mentally, I know that's because there's so much on my plate. It is not possible to have it all together all the time. I've got to pick and choose. There's a couple of things I'm not going to have together most of the time. It's a different couple of things every week. But it's there. Right? And I know it. And having these people tell me this just... For some reason, it set off a barely contained rage that's been there for... Yeah, since I started having problems with my husband's insurance. Since I started having problems with the guy who's going to die if he doesn't get his medication. That's when it started being an issue. This does not bode well, because my children are not at that place yet, but they're gonna be. There will come a time where their medications are the only reason they're not dead. And it's... I don't have it together. I don't. I never will. But the fact that I hit the barely controlled rage line at that sentence, okay, that is not... I can disconnect from the emotion. The rage is harder to disconnect from, okay? I'm just going to throw that out there. That's a little harder. But it's possible. I can fully disconnect from emotional reactions to everything. It's not healthy. It is not something I should make a habit of doing, but there are situations where that's a survival mechanism. It just is. A great example was the ER, okay? And this is when the most people were telling me I had my crap together, and I'm like, what are you people talking about? But in the ER, apparently, when they're having to fight a child to get an EpiPen in him, the doctors are perfectly fine with you putting that kid in a headlock. I am not joking. He was fighting with everything in him, and they had to get this in him or he was going to die. Like, his tongue was swelling. He could not breathe. That's why he was flipping out, was because he couldn't breathe. I had his butt in a headlock and was practically sitting on him. And they're like, God, you know what you're doing. I'm like... But that's a great example there, okay? I had to shut down. Everything had to disconnect from any emotional give a crap in existence in that moment. Because whatever it took, that medication had to get in that boy. And that was that. There was no way around that. And that's a great example of, no, sometimes this is a survival mechanism. Sometimes I have no choice but to disconnect fully from the situation and just respond with a solid, pure logic. And the insurance was one of them. Because, look, the people that are on the phone with me do not deserve the reaction that is coming up. Pharmacy's another one. Not only does the pharmacy not deserve that, they have earned every ounce of respect I have for them, okay? We have been using this pharmacy for right about 8 years now. And they know me. They know me. When I walked up to them today to pick up, the newer girl, okay, goes, it's E&G, right? Those letters are in my name. And I'm picking up for 5 patients at once. Not only is it 5 patients, but I have had more than one person checking me out stop and do some math when I'm picking up the kids' medications. They stop and calculate those birth dates, and I can watch the gears turning every time a new one does it. Because they stop and calculate just how old my children are for about 3 seconds. And these people have done everything they possibly can to ensure that we can afford to have the medications my family needs. And I know for, like, we had one, God, I could have kissed this man at the time. I didn't do it, didn't even say it, but I could have right in that moment. We had a day where the insurance company was telling us the kid was not insured when he was. And I was like, all right, fine. We have to have the medicine. How much is this going to cost? And they're like, well, there's a discount program, so it'll cost which was more than I wanted to pay at the time, but they needed their meds, and it was possible. So we paid for it. I come back again the next month. Insurance is still having a stroke. And I'm like, all right, how much is it with the discount program again? And the head pharmacist, I watched this man do a double take. He looked at the window, looked back again. Walked over there, told the new girl, no, we're not doing this again, and shut that window in my face. And I'm just like, I need the meds. Hello? 15 minutes of punching at his computer later. And he's like, nope, here you go. And just hands me a bag full of drugs. I'm like, what? He goes, no, we got this fixed. It just took some work. All the word he would use was work. But he's one of the ones that had stopped and done the math. And he was not okay with my child not getting his medication again because some bureaucratic twat can't do their own paperwork. They have earned my respect multiple times. I am not going to, just cuss them out for no reason. I refuse. But for a second, I almost did today. And that poor woman was laughing a little nervously because she's like, no, this is a regular customer. If she was this kind of customer, she would not still be here. We don't put up with that kind of behavior. And the first thing I said, it was 3 words I said before I stopped and went, this is not on you. This is not on you guys, and I know it. And then checked me out. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was 1 pill. It was 1 medication for that boy this time. But I was so mad. And I'm going to have to work on that this week. And if I can't fix it, Dee's got to take over. And by the time Dee takes over, it starts getting ugly for people. And I'm not one of those people. But yeah, it's been an anxiety week. It just has been, and there was no reason for it. Finally got something worked out with the insurance. I can move ahead with the camp forms, get that taken care of, and move forward. We've got to catch up. We've got to pull out that duffel and get crap taken care of tomorrow. But that's where we're at. That's where the vlog is at. I am sorry this is late. Hopefully it cooperates after the recording. Anyway, if you want to catch more of the chaos, 1, I might actually start doing YouTube shorts soon. Yeehaw. If you want to see the videos that are planned when they come up, that heart video is getting edited this week. That dress should get sewn this week. That tent better get sewn this week. Those videos are all going to go up at some point. We're going to start doing some YouTube shorts, little excerpts from my day. You know, sarcastic funnies or what have you. From the day. Will wind up being YouTube shorts provided I figure that mess out this week. And if you want to see me on Twitch, I do video games on Twitch. This week is going to be on Tuesday. It will be Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach because I forgot what criteria I set for that. But you're pretty sure you've hit it at this point, okay? So Tuesday's Five Nights at Freddy's, and then the new update for Dreamlight Valley launches Thursday. So Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central. I'm in Central Time, right? Texas time. There will be Dreamlight Valley Thursday. Same time on Tuesday is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I am not touching either of those before stream time, okay? I will launch them long enough to make sure they're updated and ready to go. That's it. Yeah, that's where we're at. Like and subscribe if you want to see the videos when they come up. And I will see you next week. Enjoy the chaos.